How you been, YouTube? We are back. Suddy is back after a little bit of a 2-year hiatus of just pure laziness and busyness. But today we are coming in hot with an updated lighting tutorial. So let's just jump right into it. So here we are. I'm in the Photoshop beta. That is important to note as that will come in handy later. But I have this picture here of Shohei Ohtani. So first thing we're gonna do is mask him out. I'm gonna go up here to select a mask. Make sure you're on cloud and then just press select subject. I like to use the overlay setting just so I have a nice clear red background that I can see. And usually what I'll do is I'll shift the edge minus 20 to 30%, contrast up to 20 to 30%, and then smooth no more than 10, otherwise it starts getting a little bit wonky. Press OK, and now we have a nice transparent background, as you can see. What I'm going to show you is going to break your mind. So if you go down here, when you're clicked on your Ohtani mask, you have to make sure there's a mask on it, otherwise the harmonize option won't show up. But in the new beta release, when you click on harmonize, it's going to load over here 3 options for you. When you click harmonize, it is just going to put the image into the background image for you, and it's absolutely insane. So here obviously it's matched quite well. You have 3 options here. This one's a little bit lighter in the front, and then this one kind of slightly off hue. It's kind of more of that purple up there. So I'm gonna choose the second one. And one thing to note is that the masks on these harmonization are quite weird. If I put a black background, you can see it picks up some of the background because it truly doesn't just place the subject on top, it like almost recreates the entire image. So pretty much all I'm gonna do is press on the layer mask thumbnail, hold Alt on the keyboard, click and drag to the mask up there, replace layer mask, yes, and so now you have your original layer mask and get rid of everything else there. So once I have this, what I'm going to do is start adding kind of like the rim lights, because obviously there's a very bright alien green blue light in the background. So what I have is, I already have it in my library, and what it is, it's just a black solid fill color layer set to screen, 100% opacity, 100% fill, and then what you're going to do is add a black to white gradient and just clip it, right? So from here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up the gradient, add a location or a pin at location 50. If it's at 49, it's fine, I promise. And so what you're gonna do in terms of color is you're gonna select this color, right? Whatever color light that you may want to paint. And before we do anything else, actually, we're gonna just close the group, and we're gonna do the same thing. Hold Alt and click and drag to make sure that we have a layer mask on the group. Just make sure your hardness is set to 0, and then you're going to set your flow to 10%. Now this can change depending on the picture. Sometimes 10 just isn't enough. But so what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're on a white brush. And now I'm going to zoom in here, and you are just going to slowly paint around where the light would go. Now, it's important to kind of understand how light in real life works in order to create good graphics with, realistic lighting. A lot of people I see just do light kind of on the edges, which isn't how lighting works. So once I have the kind of outer parts done, or somewhere where I'm content with for now, I'll add another layer, and I'll start going over things that would get that kind of light, that soft light over like so, but that are on the inside of the player, if you understand what I mean. So not on the edge, but it's kind of more centralized within the player. And then for this one, there's not going to be too much just because of how far behind it is. So what I'll do is I will add another layer, and I'll usually set this flow of the brush up to like 20%. And this is where I will make the brush a little smaller. I'm making it smaller here by using the bracket keys next to the letter P on the keyboard. And what I'm gonna do is just paint over the edges. So let me also just show you. See, if I just press and swipe once, it's still that blue. If I keep pressing, it'll turn to white, and now that's the gradient at work. So the white is obviously the gradient side of white. The black is kind of, it's on screen so you can't see it, so you're only seeing the blue, which would be the middle of the gradient. So the more you click, the whiter it will become, the more of a highlight it will become, which is kind of how light works. It's the strongest, it's the most intense at the very edges, and then it kind of spreads out. So you kind of want a nice gradual increase in intensity of light. And so for here, like you can see, here's these orange bits. So let's actually add some glow to that. So we'll just use an orangish yellow solid fill color, put it on linear light, invert the mask, and then we will bring the flow back up. Make sure you are on white, and we will just paint where some of these would be. We will set the fill, it's 25, that still is a little much, make it a little more orange. So another thing you can do with these is you can go into your blending options, and while pressing Alt, click on underlying layer. You can click this little triangle and it'll split into two. And so you can kind of drag it. So these are like the pure blacks, and then this other one is kind of more gray. It's not fully black, but it's also not fully white. And it'll take away from your layer what is dark underneath, if that makes sense. So as you can see, it's revealing some of the more dark spots underneath. And so I like something like that. So that's without the glow, that's with the glow. And now, if I want to make it a little bit brighter, but I kind of like it like around here. So what I'm gonna do, I added another lighting, and we will change this gradient to be that orangey yellow, like so. We will add a new layer, and then you're just gonna repeat the exact same thing that we did before. One thing I will just go over quick is adding lighting to the face. This can be quite difficult, and this is where I think you should use references online of actual images with similar lighting. But a lot of the time, a lot of people will put lights kind of above the eyelids, and then at the bottom of the nose as if the light is shining upwards. So I think this, just kind of outlining it under the chin as well. So now this looks ridiculous, right? I know. But again, same process. Create a mask, and then with your black brush, just kind of paint it out here. And then you obviously have to be really careful with the eyes, especially in such a dark image like this. If you have it too bright, it looks very forced and kind of goofy. So, you know, just gonna keep painting that to kind of get that, you know, there is light coming from above, or below, sorry. So here's what we started with. This is what we end with. Considering this took less than 20 minutes, I think most people would be pretty happy with that. It's just, you get a lot more control, customization, and it's an overall better process, I would say. So I think that concludes it for today's video, but I will try my best to continue on the YouTube grind. Just let me know what you want to see. I will literally pretty much shoot whatever tutorial you want. I'll hop on Blender, show you some 3D tech stuff. I'll do some retouching if you want. I'll do full composition videos, like I know the F1 video, how I made the this F1 poster went. It did very well. So if you have a specific graphic in mind that I've made, you want me to go over, let me know. But if you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time.